In the course of wars, many a private battle, unnoticed in the general conflict, is won and lost. The same is true in professional sport. It's the result that counts. But at the same time, unseen, many a private score is settled both on and off the field. At the beginning of the season, Arnie Campbell, the 22-year-old Fulchester United striker, was regarded as a star in the ascendancy. Fulchester had been offered sums of over £100,000 for him. Everybody wanted to know him. That is, until after Fulchester's home match with Porthampton City on the 15th of December 1972. That afternoon he was marked by Johnny Bates, and the well-publicised feud between these two players culminated in the 76th minute of the game, when, as the result of an incident following a free kick, Arnie Campbell was badly injured. The Fulchester team immediately put the blame on Bates, and today he is accused of assault occasioning actual bodily harm. Bates' trial at Fulchester Crown Court has just begun.
Mr. Campbell, on the 15th of December last year, you played in the home league fixture against Porthampton City.
I started the match, if that's what you mean.
Quite. Now, will you tell us the name of the Porthampton player who had the job of marking you during that game?
My lord, how on earth can this witness give evidence of what instructions the Porthampton team were given?
It's normal practice, isn't it, for a particularly dangerous forward to be marked by a defender and followed about wherever he goes?
No, Mr. Logan. Man-for-man marking is quite frequently abandoned nowadays.
Oh, I'm obliged to your lordship. I confess I'm not an ardent follower of the game.
Ah, well, I am. And I'm right on this point, am I not, Mr. Campbell?
Very well, my lord. I'll rephrase the question. Mr. Campbell, during the game, was there any particular member of the other team who appeared to be marking you?
Yeah, Chopper Bates.
You mean the defendant?
Yeah, Chopper Bates.
Now, you've told us you didn't finish the match. Will you describe the events that resulted in your leaving the field?
I didn't leave. I was carried off.
Quite.
Well, there was a free kick in front of their goal. They formed a wall to block a shot, and I got in position behind the wall. A normal dead ball situation, you know?
Where was Bates standing?
Right beside me. The idea was to float the ball over the Porthampton wall so I could get a flick at it with my head.
The photograph.
So went and I jumped, and Bates went with me. Did a nice push job on me in the air, and I ended up with my face in the mud. Before I could get up, he'd put the boot in proper
and fractured your hip. Now, at the time when Bates, as you say, pushed you in the air and kicked you on the ground, were you in possession of the ball?
That's a laugh. The ball never got over the Porthampton wall. Hit them and bounced away.
Was any other Porthampton player in the vicinity?
No, just Bates.
Mr. Logan, I just want to be sure about this. The few photographs we have seen are the only ones.
Yes, my lord.
There is no film of the match, no photograph of any sort of the incident in which Mr. Campbell was injured?
No, my lord. I'm afraid there was no television coverage, my lord, of the match, and the press photographers, of course, like most other people, were following the ball.
Yes, I see. Thank you.
Had you ever played in a match against Bates before?
Yeah, several times.
And did you receive any injuries in those matches?
Yeah, in all of them. But I only got hurt bad once, and that cleared up after a month.
And how did those injuries come about?
Chopper Bates, of course.
My lord, this evidence is, in my submission, inadmissible and highly prejudicial to the accused. It contains implications of wrongful conduct on the part of the accused on other occasions.
Well, that may be so, Mr. Lloyd. But as the defence of accident is fairly open to the accused, the evidence is, in my view, admissible, and I so rule.
I'm obliged to your lordship. The prosecution case is, of course, that this was a campaign of brutal aggression.
Will your lordship nevertheless make a note of my objection?
Certainly, Mr. Lloyd.
Now, Mr. Campbell, you were saying that Bates caused your injuries in these previous matches. On any of these occasions, were fouls awarded against Bates' team?
Yeah, on all of them.
Well, you're suggesting, are you, that Bates was fouling you deliberately?
He was out to get me.
Well, why should he do that?
Well, the first time I played against him, straight out of reserves I was then, he played clean and I ran all over him.
Oh, and do you think he might have felt humiliated?
Well, he was in England reserve once, when he was a lot younger, of course. And there was me straight out of school. I got 2 goals, both through his mistakes.
Oh, now, come now, Mr. Campbell, that's hardly fair, is it? I remember there was a great deal of fuss about that second goal at the time. We saw it several times on television. You kicked the ball backwards over your head, like that famous goal by Eusebio. Or was it Pele? Well, now, nobody could have stopped that, eh?
You say that in that first game, Bates played cleanly, but in all the other games that followed, he did not.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're all anxious to know this, Mr. Campbell. What is the medical prognosis? When will you be playing again?
I won't. That's what I'm told.
What, no hope?
No.
You mean your career has ended?
Officially it ends next week. Mr. Harris told me my contract is being ended under what is called the medical clause.
Mr. Harris?
I forgot you don't know anything about football. He's the chairman of Fulchester.
I see.
Mr. Campbell, what was your value on the transfer market before your injuries?
Fulchester had 2 offers from me, both from First Division clubs. One for 100,000, the other for 120.
And what percentage of those figures would you expect to receive yourself?
5%.
And what is your value now?
Sweet FA.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Would you wait there, please?
May I assure you, Mr. Campbell, that you have all the sympathy you deserve.
Thanks a lot.
But is it really true to say that you can't play football again? You see, there's a report after the match that said you'd probably be able to play again.
Oh, that was McVitie, the manager, put that out. He was frightened about what to tell Mr. Harris, and he was sacked the day after the match.
What, the manager was sacked when?
The day after the match.
Just a moment, Mr. Lloyd. And by Mr. Harris?
The chairman.
I see. All right.
But in any case, it's not really true to say, is it, that your earning power is finished?
What do you mean?
Well, aren't you forgetting about all your other business interests, the discotheque, the boutiques, Campbell's column on the Fulchester Herald?
What have they got to do with it?
Simply this. I want to ensure that the facts in issue in this case do not become submerged in pity for you.
I don't need your pity.
Perhaps not. Now, Mr. Campbell, let's turn to the match in question. The incident in which you alleged the defendant attacked you was in the 76th minute. Was this the first time there'd been any physical contact between you?
You must be joking. I'd been breathing down my neck the whole of the game. Backing into me, leaning on me, blocking, pushing elbows on the blind side, the lot.
Mr. Campbell, you wrote in your column in the Fulchester Herald, that's Exhibit 4, my lord, the following Monday, these words, didn't you? Johnny Bates has slowed down a lot and he never got near me. Well, can I take it that he was so quick that the defendant never got near you when you had the ball?
Yeah.
Well, that's a completely different story to the one you told us today, isn't it? And the story in this newspaper was simply false.
Oh, that was a ghostwriter wrote those words.
But you dictated it and it wasn't true.
No, not when you put it like that.
And again, Mr. Campbell, there's not a suggestion in this article that you were deliberately kicked.
Oh, really, Mr. Lloyd, what do you expect in a newspaper article?
You've never liked the defendant much, have you?
You can say that again.
You have a nickname for him, don't you?
What are you talking about?
Oh, come now, Mr. Campbell, you call him Fanny Bates, don't you?
Oh, that, yeah, well, sometimes.
Well, what is it supposed to convey?
Nothing.
Nothing? Well, it's a woman's name, isn't it? You used to tell people that he was effeminate, that he wasn't a real man.
Just for a laugh?
Did you say just for a laugh?
Yes.
Had you any reason to believe that there was any truth in that suggestion, that the defendant was effeminate?
How should I know? I never met him off the field.
So that was also a deliberately false statement.
I suppose so.
Now, do you know a man named Freddie the Broker?
No, I never heard of him.
So you've never been involved in the dealings of persons who bet on the result of football matches?
No.
You're quite sure of that?
Look, mister, I don't expect you to understand this, but when you're a professional, your loyalty's to your club. I play for Fulchester, nobody else.
You have heard, then, of players taking bribes to affect the result of a match, to rig a match?
Yeah, I've heard of it like everyone else has heard of it.
And you wanted to leave Fulchester for a bigger club, didn't you? But the club wouldn't put you on the transfer list.
Yeah. I don't see what this has got to do with the case. I mean, there's nothing wrong in trying to better yourself.
And with a better club, especially a First Division club, you'd have got higher wages.
Yeah, probably.
In fact, Fulchester were holding you back. They were holding you down in the world. Now I'm going to ask you again. Do you know a man known as Freddie the Broker?
You're not talking about Freddie Williams, are you?
I am. Do you know him?
We've had the odd drink.
Did you ever accept money from him to influence the result of a game?
Never.
Did he ever offer you money to do so?
Look, we was always in company. I'm trying to tell you, of course he didn't.
I see. Now let's get back to the match. You say that when the defendant pushed you, you ended up face down in the mud.
That's right.
At which point you were kicked.
Yes.
Well, if that's so, how do you know who kicked you?
Do I have to explain it for you?
You mean that apart from your teammate Kevin Lewis, the defendant was the only person near enough to have kicked you?
You've got it.
Yes, but you didn't actually see the person who kicked you.
I did not see him, no.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
Do you wish to re-examine, Mr. Logan?
No, my lord.
You may leave the box, Campbell.
I call James Mellish.
James Mellish, please. What is your religion?
Church of England.
Take the book in your right hand and read the words from the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
What is your name and where do you live?
My name is James Mellish. I live at 14 Corn Estate, Chester.
And you're a qualified Football Association referee, and you were refereeing the league match between Fulchester United and Porthampton City on the 15th of December of last year?
That is correct.
Now, Mr. Mellish, as to that match...
Well, before we get on to that, my lord, I would like to make a statement.
Is it essential, Mr. Mellish?
Well, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be making it.
Very well, if you must. But do remember, the court's time is not unlimited.
Don't worry, my lord. Time wasting is a punishable offence in my book, too.
I'm very relieved to hear it.
Yes, well, I just want to make it quite clear at this point in time that I'm here today in the same capacity as I was during that match, as a referee. That is, in an impartial capacity.
Mr. Mellish, you are here in one capacity, and one capacity alone, that is as a private person. I may say the same would be true of the Prime Minister if he were a witness in this case.
Yeah, well, if the Prime Minister gave a little more of his time to watching football instead of messing about in boats, we might be in a better state than we are.
But Logan, shall we return from the world of yachting to that of football?
Now then, Mr. Mellish, during the match in question, did you witness any clashes between the defendant and Arnold Campbell prior to the incident in the 76th minute?
Well, there was a running fight between them for the whole of the game.
Initiated by the defendant?
Oh, really,
Yes,
my
Mr.
lord?
Logan, don't lead the witness.
I'm sorry, my lord. Who initiated this running fight?
The defendant, John Bates.
And did you have occasion to caution any player for his behaviour?
Yes, John Bates in the 14th minute. I observed the number 3 player for Porthampton City, John Bates, strike the Fulchester United player Campbell with his arm, apparently in retaliation, and having regard to the nature of this offence, I thereupon took his name.
And will you now tell the court what occurred in the 76th minute?
Yes, certainly. I awarded a direct free kick to Fulchester on the edge of the Porthampton penalty box. As this kick was taken, both Campbell and the accused rose in the air to receive the ball. The latter leaned on Campbell, who fell to the ground, whereupon Bates kicked him. The ball was nowhere near either of them. At this juncture, I blew up. On my whistle, that is.
Quite.
And I informed Bates that I was sending him off the field.
And one final question, Mr. Mellish. I would like you to think back to the scene at that moment of the game. Please take your time. And tell the court whether in your own mind you are still quite convinced that the defendant deliberately and maliciously kicked Arnold Campbell.
That isn't necessary.
What isn't?
Oh, for me to have to think back. You must be aware that when a referee makes a decision, it's final.
Nevertheless, for the sake of
It's a question of authority.
Mr. Mellish, I don't think you quite understand.
Well, with respect, my lord, I think it is you that doesn't understand. You see, my position is the same as yours. I represent the legally constituted authority of the Football Association. And by virtue of that authority vested in me, it is my right, my duty, to stand by any decision I may have made.
I hear what you say, Mr. Mellish. I advise you not to try my patience any further.
I'm sure your lordship isn't expected to reconsider any of his decisions. Well, my jurisdiction's out there on the park. I don't expect to have it trespassed on either. If we don't maintain our authority, we'll all descend to anarchy, won't we?
Precisely, Mr. Mellish, and here you are under my jurisdiction. I have no power to send you off, but I can and will send you down for contempt of court unless you answer counsel's question immediately.
I judged that the defendant, Bates, kicked Campbell in a vicious, totally unprovoked attack. I see no reason for changing that opinion now.
Thank you, Mr. Mellish. I have no further questions.
Lloyd?
Mr. Mellish, according to you, there was a running fight between the accused and Campbell throughout the game, initiated, you say, by the accused.
That is correct.
Now, Mr. Bates is a defender. Is it not a defender's job to tackle and dispossess an opposing forward?
Yes.
Then surely it was perfectly natural for Mr. Bates to initiate all such contact between them.
It looked at like that, yes.
And of all the occasions he made contact, is it not true to say that 9 times out of 10 this contact was quite fair and within the rules of football?
Agreed. But what about those other times?
Well, being fair about the matter, and I'm sure you're trying to be and thinking about it, would you not agree that on those other occasions it was invariably a case of my client retaliating against foul play by Campbell, against the illegal use of his elbow to shield the ball, for instance? That's what happened in the 14th minute, isn't it?
Yes, more or less. Must admit it's very difficult to tell in these cases. But of course, retaliation is a punishable offence in any case.
Oh, without question, but you will agree that there is a vast difference between that and what my learned friend has chosen to call a campaign of brutal aggression.
Yes, I suppose there is a difference.
Do you wear glasses to drive, Mr. Mellish?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm sorry to have to put this to you. I'm sure you understand it is my duty. You don't wear glasses to referee, do you?
No. But the two things aren't the same at all. I mean, when you're on the pitch, you don't have to look for detail. You've got two linesmen to help you. And a player is a sight larger than the number plates on a motor car.
But their hands and their feet are not.
I am aware of that. And I point out that both the fouls committed by Bates occur within 15 yards of me, no more.
Yes. Now, before moving on to the second of those incidents, there's another little point I'd like to take up with you. Are you aware of the expression homer?
Yes.
Will you tell the court its meaning?
Well, it refers to a referee who tends to favour the home side in his decisions.
Now, do you remember writing these words in the Football Digest in May of last year? That's Exhibit 5, my lord. Intimidation is the cancer of today's game. In some areas, violence among spectators has reached such proportions that even the best referee might hesitate before awarding, say, a penalty against the home team for fear of what could happen to him afterwards.
Yes, well, I was rather thinking more of the Latin American countries when I wrote that.
But nevertheless, it's correct, isn't it, that during the game on December the 15th, a great deal of hostility was generated by certain sections of the crowd against the Porthampton team, and in particular against Bates, and against any decision that you made in their favour.
That did not deter me from doing my duty. And I would point out to you that after the match, it was a certain element of the Porthampton supporters that threatened me. Yeah, so much so, in fact, that Mr. Harris, the Fulchester chairman, took it upon himself to escort me from the ground personally in his car.
Did he indeed? And I want to turn to the incident in the 76th minute for which my client is on trial today. When the free kick was taken, where were you standing?
Oh, well, I was in a direct line with the Porthampton defensive wall.
Why there?
Well, in a dead ball situation such as this, the referee's most difficult job is to get the defenders to retire the required 10 yards.
And I imagine you also kept an eye on the ball itself.
Well, of course, you've got to know when the kick's coming.
Are you saying, then, that with one eye on the Porthampton defensive line and the other on the ball, you were able to see clearly something that happened a good few yards behind the Porthampton wall?
I could, yes. Out of the corner of my eye.
The corner of your eye, Mr. Mellish, but how could you? You've already told us that a referee doesn't look for detail.
I saw what happened.
Did you consult either of the two linesmen that are there to help you?
Since I was in no doubt, that wasn't necessary. If they'd had anything to tell me, they could have done so. No, you can't get round the truth. Bates kicked his man.
Do you ever make a mistake, Mr. Mellish?
Yes, I do. And when I do, I admit it immediately. It doesn't take me 6 months to recognise the fact.
Well, I'm not doubting your sincerity. I just wonder how you can stand there and be so sure. Let me ask you something. When I stood up to begin this cross-examination, I wiped my hands on my handkerchief. Now, do you remember from which pocket I took that handkerchief?
Well, no, I can't be certain. I think it was the right.
Well, you've made a mistake there, Mr. Mellish, because I took out no handkerchief at all.
Oh, my lord, this type of cheap ploy can only confuse the jury. We're not taking part in an American television melodrama.
My lord, it's very simple. I merely wanted to demonstrate that when a person's eyes and concentration are distracted elsewhere, they tend to see what they subconsciously wish to see, or what they think they must have seen, rather than what they have in reality seen.
Yes, Mr. Lloyd, I do take the point. Members of the jury, when you consider the evidence, I advise you to treat counsel's demonstration with very great caution. A handkerchief or no handkerchief in a courtroom is not at all the same thing as a kick or no kick on a soccer field. Carry on, Mr. Lloyd.
I have no further questions, my lord.
You may stand down, Mr. Mellish.
I call Kevin Wilson Lewis. You are Kevin Wilson Lewis, and your address is 17 Meadow Lane, Fulchester?
Yeah.
And is it right that you're employed by Fulchester United Football Club, for whom you played in the match against Porthampton City on December the 15th last?
Yeah.
And what is your normal position on the field, Mr. Lewis?
Well, I got the number 9 shirt. I'm a striker.
And as such, you played in close proximity to your fellow forward, Mr. Campbell?
Yeah, we linked up a lot.
How many times have you and he played together against the accused?
Counting a couple in the league, I'd say at least 6 times, all in the last couple of seasons.
Yes, would you say that they had a sporting, amicable relationship during that time?
Sporting? They loathed each other's guts.
My lord, that question calls for conjecture on the part of the witness.
Well, then, for my learned friend's benefit, I will rephrase it. Mr. Lewis, what did you observe about their attitudes towards each other?
Well, it's known, isn't it? First time they was ever up against each other, Arnie played him right off the park. Showed him the ball, then went through him like a knife through butter, as if he weren't there. Trouble was, with Arnie being just a beginner-like, and Batesy an old pro, went to Arnie's head. He started telling everybody Batesy was over the hill, all washed up. So natural, every time after that, when they played, Batesy tried to flatten him.
And this was the state of affairs when they met on December the 15th?
Right. They got off to a bad start in the first couple of minutes. And then when Arnie did a nutmeg on him, whoa, beautiful to see that was.
A nutmeg?
Meaning to push the ball through your opponent's legs, Mr. Logan.
There you go, Your Honour. What's your club?
Chelsea, as it happens.
Oh, well, there's no account of a taste, is there?
Shall we get on, Mr. Logan?
I'm indebted to your lordship for your expertise. Tell us how the match progressed, Mr. Lewis.
Well, as we was going off at half-time, I said to Bates, see you in the second half, Fanny. Joking like. And he said, I'll see the lot of you in hospital first.
I'll see the lot of you in hospital first. Now, you're quite sure of that?
That's what Fanny said, yeah.
Yes, please refer to the defendant as Bates, Mr. Lewis, not Fanny.
Well, it's Arnie's name for him, really. Seeing as how he's not much of a one for the ladies, unlike our Arnie. No offence intended, of course.
Now, let's move on to the free kick your team was awarded in the 76th minute. Where were you standing for it?
Well, as planned, about 5 yards behind Arnie, waiting for him to lay it off to me when it came over.
When what came over?
For the ball, of course.
And did it?
No, but Bates got up in the air alongside Arnie and leaned on him good and hard. Then when he hit the deck, he kicked him.
How many times?
Just once on the hip. Then he went off. I went over to see how Arnie was. Soon after that, the whistle went.
And did you see the whole incident clearly?
Yeah, I was right behind him.
And you have no doubt that what happened was a deliberate foul?
None at all. The ball was miles away.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
No, don't go away, Mr. Lewis. I've got one or two questions to ask you. Why are you testifying here today?
Well, I was asked to.
That's the only reason?
Yeah.
You'd have really preferred not to have come, would you?
Well, I don't know.
Did you come here reluctantly?
Well, I'd rather this thing was kept inside football and not coming out all in the open like, you know?
Unfortunately, the truth has a habit of coming out. Tell me, in your opinion, is my client, John Bates, a dirty player?
Batesy, one of the best in the English league.
Why do you say that?
Well, they got some right bastards up in Scotland, ain't they?
Very amusing. But I suggest to you that while Mr. Bates may be a hard player, even a rough player, he is not and never has been a dirty player. Now, please think carefully about this before you answer. Have you ever known Bates to deliberately injure an opponent who did not have the ball? And please remember, you are under oath.
No, I never seen him do anything like that. Well, not before December, anyway.
Now, when this incident happened, you saw it all perfectly plainly.
Look, I've already told you.
You told my learned friend. I'd like to get one thing very clear. At the time, was there, apart from the defendant, any other Porthampton City player in the vicinity of Mr. Campbell who might have been responsible for that injury?
No.
Oh, really, my lord, what can be the point of these, if I may say so, rather laboured attempts to establish for the prosecution's benefit what has already been established once? If my learned friend is hoping to show that Mr. Campbell's injury was a self-inflicted accident, then he should tell us. Unless, of course, he's suggesting that it was caused by Mr. Lewis, his own teammate.
I'm grateful to my learned friend for his assistance. That is exactly what I intend to prove.
The case of the Queen against Bates will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. At the beginning of the season, Fulchester United's Arnie Campbell looked as though he had a dazzling career ahead of him. But all his hopes were shattered when his hip was fractured in the 76th minute of a home match with Porthampton City. Johnny Bates is accused of deliberately kicking Arnie Campbell at a time when the ball was nowhere near them. Mr. Lloyd, counsel for the defendant, made some startling revelations in the course of the hearing, eliciting that Fulchester's manager had been sacked the day after the match, raising suggestions that Arnie Campbell had been accepting bribes to affect the result of matches, and alleging that his injuries had in fact been caused by his teammate, Kevin Lewis, who's still giving evidence.
Now, Mr. Lewis, let's find out the truth about your relationship with Arnold Campbell.
Now, look, if you think it was me who kicked him, then you're off your nut.
We shall see. At the moment, I'm more interested in something else. You often went out with Campbell, didn't you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you know someone called Freddie Williams, who's also known as Freddie the Broker?
No, I don't.
Now, be careful, Mr. Lewis. Arnold Campbell has already testified that he knows him.
Now, look, if you let me finish, I don't know him. I met him, once only.
Was Campbell there?
Yeah,
Where and when?
about September last year in a bar at a Lion Hotel.
Were you two alone with Freddie the Broker or with others?
Yeah, we were alone for part of the time, yeah.
What did you talk about?
Nothing special.
You discussed football?
Well, don't everybody?
Did Freddie the Broker offer either of you any money?
No, not like that.
Well, what did he say?
Oh, my lord, I've restrained myself from interrupting long enough. How on earth can it be relevant to admit evidence about any supposed offer of bribes to Campbell? In my submission, it can have nothing to do with the question of whether or not the defendant deliberately kicked Campbell.
Well, Mr. Logan, I'm inclined to admit this evidence. I think I'm supported in this by the case of the Crown versus Shaw. You will recall Mr. Lloyd has said very clearly that he is alleging that this witness and not the defendant was responsible for Campbell's injuries.
Perhaps I may leave the matter for the time being whilst reserving my right to raise the objection if the evidence continues in this vein much longer.
Very well, Mr. Logan.
What did Freddie the Broker say?
Well, Campbell was complaining about the terms he was getting with Fulchester. And Williams, that's Freddie the Broker, said something like, if either of you two gents want to earn himself some real money, well, you knows where to find me.
And what did you understand that to mean?
Well, I've been told that Williams moves around with a lot of people who bet.
Is involved in bribery, in fact.
Yeah, all right, well, why not? It happens all the time, doesn't it?
What, rigging the results of matches?
Yeah.
Of course, you didn't take up the offer.
No, I didn't.
Did it ever occur to you that Arnold Campbell may have taken up the offer on some other occasion when you weren't there?
No, of course not.
Now, do you ever read George Jenkinson's football column in the Northern Courier?
Yes.
Will you look at the copy of Exhibit 6, which is an article by George Jenkinson, which appeared in that paper on the 9th of December 1972. That's about a week before the match, which has given rise to these proceedings. Did you read that article?
Yeah, I remember it. I read it.
Yes, it caused quite a stir, didn't it? I'll read it if I may. The last few weeks have seen an alarming erraticism creep into Fulchester's hitherto rock-solid form. None of the team is beyond criticism, but recently fans have been pointing the finger at Arnie Campbell. Some weeks their golden boy has lived up to all his former promise. Others, a crisis of confidence seems to hit him. Relatively open goals have been missed, of the sort that would make even a schoolboy blush. A series of disastrous back passes have let in the opposition to score. If Fulchester continue to lose matches they should win, they may no longer be reluctant to give Arnie the move he wants. Now, when you read that article, did you think there was any truth in it?
Yeah, it all happened.
Campbell, the golden boy, missing relatively open goals, making a series of disastrous back passes. You knew he was unhappy at Fulchester.
Well, he wanted to move to a bigger club. I mean, everybody knew that.
But he didn't get his transfer, did he? And then his bad form set in. And you believed he was taking bribes, didn't you?
I guessed it.
You did more than that, Mr. Lewis, because you told your friend Terence Stein that you were convinced of it.
Now, look, I never said that. That's a dirty lie.
I just must warn you that Terence Stein will be giving evidence.
We'll see about that.
You finished your cross-examination, Mr. Lloyd?
No, my lord. I sat down because I thought my friend wished to make an objection.
And do you, Mr. Logan?
No, my lord, not yet.
Oh, Mr. Lloyd, do get on.
And you also told Stein that, quote, If Campbell threw just one more match, you'd make sure he never played football again.
Now, look, I don't believe Terry Stein told you that. That's a dirty lie.
And you're saying that you never said those words?
No, I didn't say it, no.
Are you jealous of Arnie Campbell, Mr. Lewis?
Jealous? Why should I be?
Well, for example, the way he could pick up girls just because of his name.
I've got my share.
But it's not as good a share as Campbell's.
No, all right, no, all right, maybe it wasn't then. But I tell you, if I was ever jealous of him then, I'm certainly not jealous of him now.
And it's right, isn't it, that when Campbell replaced you, when he first played for the Fulchester team, you spent 3 months in the reserves.
Well, what of it?
And whereas he was paid £90 a week, you were only paid 40.
Look, I don't know about Arnie's contract. You better ask Mr. Harris about that.
Now, let's get back to the match.
At last.
What was that, Mr. Logan?
No, my lord, I was merely expressing relief that we're at last getting onto evidence connected with the case.
On the 15th of December of last year, when the match was played, Fulchester were no less than 13 places above Porthampton in the league, and they were playing at home. Yet by the 76th minute, you were 2-0 down. Arnold Campbell had been blatantly wasting goal-scoring chances created by you. He'd even missed a penalty in the 73rd minute, and for you, that was just the last straw.
And I planned to do him, is that it?
Well, I don't know whether you planned it or whether you merely failed to control your pent-up resentment when you saw the opportunity. The fact is, you were no more than 5 yards away from Campbell, and when you bent down over him, you kicked him hard.
I bent down to see if he was OK, that's all.
An ideal moment to get a kick in unnoticed, and it only took 1 kick.
Look, are you saying I'm planning to do my own teammate for life?
Well, perhaps not for life. It would be unfair of me to suggest that. Only you can know that. But you did kick him, didn't you?
You have sworn to tell the truth, Mr. Lewis.
All right. I thought Arnie was on a fiddle. But I never kicked him. Not then, nor any other game. Now, that's the truth.
Now, come now. You've previously threatened to harm him. Terence Stein will testify to that.
Look, I tell you, I never kicked him.
I have no re-examination, my lord.
Mr. Lewis, tell me this. You have said that you believe that Campbell was accepting bribes. Did you talk about that to your manager?
No.
Why not?
Well, McVitie had only told Harris, and Campbell was Harris's blue-eyed boy. I mean, he wouldn't have believed it.
Now, Harris is the chairman of Fulchester, I recall. McVitie is what?
He was the manager, and he got sacked after the game.
Ah, yes, of course, we heard about that. But we don't know why, do we? Very well, Lewis, you can stand down.
I call James Leslie Harris. What is your full name?
James Leslie Harris. Jim to most people.
Where do you live?
The Lawns, Millway, Fulchester.
And what is your occupation?
I own James Harris and Company, confectioners. I've been on the City Council for 12 years, and I've been the chairman of Fulchester United Football Club for the past 15 years.
Do you know the defendant, John Bates?
I know the lad.
On December the 15th of last year, did you have occasion to speak to him?
I did.
Will you tell the court in your own words what took place?
Well, it was just after young Bates had been told to take the early bath.
You mean sent off?
That's right, he was. Well, I left the director's box immediately and went down to see how Arnie was doing. When I saw how bad it was, I went over to the Porthampton dressing room to see their man Bates. He was in there alone, half crying too. Well, I told him that thanks to him, our Arnie was on his way to hospital, and he said to me, that's Bates, he said, "I'm sorry I kicked him, Mr. Harris. I didn't mean to break anything, but I just lost me head."
And did he use those exact words?
Well, as near as I can remember. I mean, I feel sorry for the lad, really, but that's what they pay him for.
My lord, that sort of comment about Mr. Bates and his employers is really most objectionable.
I quite agree, Mr. Lloyd. Members of the jury, you will disregard witness's last remark.
I'm only trying to be fair to the lad.
And you, Mr. Harris, will confine yourself to answering counsel's questions and not offer your own opinions.
I was asked to say what happened in my own words.
Exactly. You were asked to say what happened, not what you thought about it.
I stand corrected.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
We've heard your name mentioned on several occasions in this trial, Mr. Harris. It seems you've got quite a lot of influence over people and events.
Goes with my position.
And I notice that you like to go by the name of Honest Jim Harris. Where did you get it?
In business after the war.
Oh, what business was that?
Government surplus, like a lot of other good men.
Why do you find it necessary to draw attention to your honesty?
Is my learned friend suggesting that there is dishonesty in trading in government surplus?
Indeed not. As far as I know, there's no connection between the two. I'm surprised that the thought occurred to my learned friend. You also choose to call Fulchester my club. Why is that?
Because I've been the one to look after it for the past 15 years.
A sort of godfather, in fact.
Aye. But not like that one in the film, you know, the one about the mafia.
More of the fairy variety, then, as in the pantomime.
If you like.
I think it goes further than that. They don't call you Mr. Fulchester for nothing, do they? The truth is you own more than 60% of the ordinary shares in Fulchester United. Is that correct?
I like to keep it tight.
Yes, and you have done for over 10 years. In fact, you can make or break anyone in that club.
Look, I don't expect you to understand this, but the club is far bigger than any one individual inside it, and that's always been a principle of mine.
Mr. Harris, it's true, isn't it, that you would do anything for the sake of Fulchester United?
If necessary. I'm not ashamed of loving my club. You see, loyalty still means something to me, even though it is a dirty word to some of our long-heard modern generation.
Are you saying the end justifies the means?
If necessary, yes, I am.
Would you then, for example, tell lies if it were necessary to do so to suppress rumours of corruption amongst Fulchester players?
I've no idea what you're going on about.
Then I'll spell it out for you. My client did not admit kicking Campbell to you at any time. Your version of that incident is a lie. It is a lie you hoped would be believed, and if believed, might distract attention from the true state of affairs within the club of which you're so proud.
All right, all right. Now you ask that third-rate joker over there why he's called the Hatchet Man. Go on, ask him, ask him.
You are the one who is here to answer questions, Mr. Harris.
Thank you, my lord. And while we're on the subject of my client, since when has it been the custom to go into another team's dressing room during a match?
Oh, don't be daft. Porthampton United's my patch and I can go anywhere I please on it.
Can we come back to the rumours? There were rumours, were there not, after the match that Campbell had been accepting bribes, and because of this he'd been done in by his own team.
If there were, I didn't hear him.
Well, let's look back over Campbell's career. I want to ask you about his relationship with the club.
I can tell you that in one sentence. When we signed that lad on, he was an investment. Now he's not worth a penny. He's not worth a brass farthing.
Just answer the questions, please, Mr. Harris.
He was a particular protégé of yours, wasn't he?
I was the first to take him to Fulchester, aye.
You discovered him.
He knows that as well as I do.
And initially, at least, he looked like a real find.
He was a real find.
But there was a period between about mid-October and December when the club suffered 3 or 4 unexpected defeats.
We had a bad patch, yes.
And Campbell made some uncharacteristic mistakes.
He was off form.
Well, we'll come to the question of whether or not there were mistakes later. It's a fact, isn't it, that Arnold Campbell was unhappy with the money he was getting at Fulchester, that he wanted a transfer, but that you would not give him one.
Well, there was a great deal of interest, yes, but you must remember he's a fine player. Or should I say, was.
Precisely, he was. But in October, Fulchester's sudden run of unexpected losses started. Would you tell this court how many inquiries you received for Campbell, say from the end of September?
That's privileged information.
I'm not in the least surprised. The fact is, inquiries totally dried up, didn't they?
I'm not prepared to comment on
You
that.
will answer counsel's question, Mr. Harris.
Very well. Interest dried up because we said that we were not prepared to sell.
Oh, come now. You know perfectly well that rich clubs are not deterred by statements of that sort.
Are you suggesting that I don't know my business? Look, as chairman of Fulchester United Football Club, I don't know anything about this rumour or whatever it was about bribery. And if there were any rumours about it, then there was no foundation.
Then why did you sack your own manager the day after the match in which Campbell was crippled?
Tell him the truth, Harris.
Silence!
I don't have to justify to little men what I may or may not decide about various other little men.
You sacked him, did you not, because you found that Fulchester United had come to such a state that its star player had been crippled by his own teammates for accepting bribes?
If you must know, the decision to sack our manager had been taken a long time ago. That is the board, we had decided to give him till December the 1st to get Fulchester into the running for promotion, and he failed.
You bastard, you didn't have the decency to tell me face to face, did you? You left it for me to read in the papers.
Silence.
Tell him. Go on. Tell him about the bribes. You bastard.
Come on, let's have
You stink, Harris. I hope you get what Campbell's got.
Listen, you won't work inside football again, my friend.
It's you that ought to be at the dock, mate.
Come on.
Mr. Harris, do you know the man who was just escorted from the court?
Yes, he's the old manager that I sacked, McVitie.
Yes, and you say that his sacking was the result of a decision taken by the directors some time before. It had nothing to do with anything you'd heard about bribery or about who kicked Campbell?
Aye.
Then no doubt you will have minutes of the meeting at which that decision was taken.
Oh, no, it wasn't formal, like.
I see. Decision of the Board of Directors taken informally at a meeting of which, contrary to the company's act, no minutes were kept. I assume that as McVitie has been in court throughout the hearing, that neither side intends to call him as a witness. Is that because nobody dares to?
My Lord, that's the sort of question I prefer not to answer.
Yes, perhaps I shouldn't really have asked that. Carry on, Mr. Lloyd.
Mr. Harris, I put it to you that when you heard the word go round that it was a Fulchester player that had crippled Campbell, you resolved at all costs to stifle the rumour by inventing an alleged confession from the defendant in the hope that his conviction would smother the truth.
I've never heard such arrant nonsense, and you can suppose what you like.
But it's right, isn't it, that you sacked McVitie without giving him any prior warning or without giving him a reason?
Yes. And now what are you going to do about it?
It simply shows us, Mr. Harris, what kind of a man we're dealing with.
I have no re-examination, my Lord.
You may go, Mr. Harris.
My Lord, that is the case for the prosecution.
Yes, Mr. Lloyd.
I call the defendant, Stanley John Bates.
What is your religion?
Methodist.
Take the book in the right hand and read from the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are Stanley John Bates. You live at 43 Aylesbury Crescent, Porthampton, and you are employed as a professional footballer by Porthampton City Football Club.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Bates, how would you describe your tactical role in the Porthampton team?
I'm what's called a stopper, on the left side of the field.
For the match in question, were you detailed to mark Arnold Campbell specifically?
No, only if he came across on the left. Campbell used to wander all over the field, you see.
How long have you been a professional footballer?
16 years.
And during all that time, have you ever tried to deliberately injure an opponent?
Never.
Now, I'd like you to tell the court, in your own words, what you recall of the incident in which Arnold Campbell was injured.
Well, we were standing behind the Porthampton defence wall waiting for the free kick to be taken. When the whistle went, he got up in the air and so did I. We were shoulder to shoulder.
You weren't behind him, as the prosecution have mentioned?
Definitely not.
Go on.
Well, the ball never came over.
Did you see Campbell fall to the ground?
Well, I didn't really notice at the time. I didn't fall and I ran off to clear the ball.
When he was in the air, did you push him, as has been suggested?
No, sir.
So you're saying that immediately you touched the ground, you ran off following the play?
Yeah, that's right. I ran off after the ball. Then the whistle went and all hell broke loose. A couple of the Fulchester players came after me and tried to land one on me. I didn't really understand why until I looked back and I saw Campbell on the deck. Then finally the ref called me over and gave me my marching orders.
He sent you off?
Yeah, that's right.
Did you protest?
Well, I did at first, yeah.
Then you accepted the referee's decision?
Well, of course, my lord.
Then what did you do?
I went back to the dressing room.
Did Mr. Harris come into the dressing room?
Yes, he did.
Could you tell the court about the meeting that took place there between Mr. Harris and yourself?
Well, I'd only been in there a couple of minutes when he barged in. He called me a lot of names, and he said, did I realise what he'd done to his superstar, as he called him? I told him I was very sorry about what had happened, but it got nothing to do with me, because I hadn't touched Campbell.
So Mr. Harris's story that you admitted kicking him is untrue?
I'm afraid so.
Were you sorry to see Campbell injured?
Well, yes, I was.
Now, I'd like to ask you again. Did you foul Arnold Campbell in any way during the incident in question, either intentionally or otherwise?
I didn't touch him.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Bates.
You described yourself as a stopper, Mr. Bates. There is another word in use, I believe. You are what's known as a destroyer.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
Well, it means what it says. A destroyer of attacking movements.
Now, you were just a stopper, but Arnold Campbell was a creative player, wasn't he?
At times, yes.
Now, during your 16 years in football, how many times has your name been taken by a referee for foul play?
I don't know.
More than 30 times?
Well, I told you, I can't remember.
More than 40?
Well, I doubt it.
32 times, Mr. Bates, perhaps twice a season.
Well, I think that was putting it a bit on the high side, my lord.
Well, in the region of 30, then.
Well, maybe 20, maybe 30. I told you, I can't be sure.
Can you name any player who's been cautioned more often than yourself?
Well, not offhand, no, but there's a lot of players with worse records than mine, I can assure you.
I see. Now, let's turn to what happened at half-time during the match on December the 15th. Kevin Lewis made a joking remark about seeing you in the second half, and you said, "I'll see the lot of you in hospital first." Now, what did you mean by that?
It was just a way of saying get lost.
When you want to tell someone to get lost, you normally say that you'll see them in hospital.
No.
Only on a football field.
Well, I was angry.
Were you angry with Campbell?
Well, mainly with Lewis, but I was angry with Campbell as well. He got me a booking in the first half by lying down and moaning after a tackle. I hadn't even touched him.
You hadn't even touched him, just like the incident in the 76th minute when Campbell's hip was fractured. So, you're saying that twice in the same afternoon you were penalised for kicking Campbell, when in fact, on neither occasion, had you even touched him.
Yes, that's right.
Now, moving on to the incident in the 76th minute. Why did you jump in the air?
To head the ball.
But the ball never came anywhere near you, so why did you jump in the air?
Oh, why did Campbell jump?
It was his team's free tick. He was expecting the ball.
Yeah, and I was watching him. I knew it. You're forgetting. I'm a professional.
No, Mr. Bates, I'm not forgetting that, I assure you. Now, you would have us believe, if I understand you right, that when Campbell fell to the ground, you were in no way responsible.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, then how do you explain it?
Well, it's not my job to explain it.
Well, nevertheless, you were next door to him, and as a professional...
Look, if you really want to know, I think Campbell took a dive.
Took a dive?
Fell down on purpose, Mr. Logan.
Thank you, my lord. Why should he do that?
Well, the usual reason. To make it look as if I pushed him so that he'd get a penalty.
Oh, really, Mr. Bates, you'll have to do better than that. Your own counsel has claimed that Campbell took a bribe to lose the match for his own team. Now, I ask you, if that were so, would he at the same time try to win them the match by gaining penalties?
Well, look, quite honestly, I don't believe that Campbell was taking bribes. I mean, he didn't need to. He had everything going for him as it was.
And if he simply took a dive, how did he come to have a broken hip?
Don't ask me. I ran after the ball.
Someone must have kicked him.
Well, someone must have, but it wasn't me.
How old are you, Mr. Bates?
I'm 33, sir.
Arnold Campbell is 22, isn't he? As I've said, in September he played for Young England. Now, you were nearly picked for England once, weren't you?
That's right.
But while he was at the start of a promising career, you were at the end of yours, aren't you?
I wasn't jealous of him, that's what you mean. Look, all this stuff about a duel between Campbell and me, it's all nonsense. It's just made up by the press.
You did know, didn't you, that he called you Fanny Bates?
Yeah.
And you resented it?
Look, I'm a married man with 2 children. I've been playing football a long time. That sort of thing, it just doesn't worry me.
Oh, you're really saying that?
Yes.
Like water off a duck's back, eh?
Yeah, I suppose so.
But you will accept that the press story of a feud between you had some basis in it, wouldn't you? Insofar as Campbell felt constrained to call you Fanny Bates.
Yeah, I don't know what his reasons were for saying that.
You wouldn't agree, then, that there'd been any rivalry when you met in those 6 matches in the last 2 years?
Rivalry, yes. But no needle, not on my part.
Now, you've also got the name Chopper Bates, haven't you?
Look, I'm a hard player, but I tried to play it clean.
You mean you never deliberately hurt anybody, but you're not frightened of a collision when you're going after the ball, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you, my lord.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Logan. I just thought I'd like to clear up that point for the benefit of the jury.
And I'm grateful to your lordship. I'm beginning to realise that those who know a little about football rush in where angels fear to tread. I am, my lord, of course, referring to people like myself.
I trust you are, Mr. Logan. Shall we get on?
Now, Mr. Bates, I'd like to return to the 76th minute for a minute. Had you felt any provocation by Campbell during the second half?
Well, what sort of provocation?
Any needling or shoving off the ball?
No, not that I remember.
Any remarks, whispers, jeers, or jibes?
No.
Nothing at all?
Nothing that I can remember.
He hadn't made an odd jibe that might have riled you?
No.
No references to your lack of success with women?
Well, he often did that sort of thing.
But not this afternoon?
No, I've told you. No?
Come now, Mr. Bates, surely. Don't you remember an odd Fanny Bates or two, a pull your Fanny in, or come on, Fanny, get your finger out, or a sweet Fanny, Adams, that's all you're good for?
Can you shut up about bloody Fanny? Fanny, all the bloody time. Look, he doesn't play bloody football, he plays silly buggers in the penalty area. He's calling your name, spoiling your concentration, getting at you where it hurts. It's not bloody football, it's bloody brainwashing. Well, one day, somebody's going to do him proper.
No further questions, my lord.
The case of the Queen against Bates will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. In a match between Fulchester United and Porthampton City, Arnie Campbell, the 22-year-old Fulchester forward, tipped for a place in international football, sustained a hip injury which ended his footballing career. Porthampton player Johnny Bates is being tried at Fulchester Crown Court for the offence, but his counsel, Mr. Lloyd, has suggested that Campbell was actually kicked by Kevin Lewis, a member of his own team. Johnny Bates has already given evidence, but the defence have still 2 more witnesses to call.
You are George Henry Lomax of Lansdowne House, Porthampton, and you are the manager of Porthampton City Football Club.
Yes.
Did you watch any of the matches between Fulchester United and your club over the last 3 years?
I watch every match.
Now, it's been suggested that on the occasions when Campbell was playing, Bates invariably injured him. Does that accord with your recollection?
No, definitely not. I saw Campbell hurt only once, last December.
Did you see how he was hurt?
No, he was away from the ball and I had my eye on the ball.
From what you observed of Bates's play in those matches, did it appear to you that he was carrying out a campaign of brutal aggression against Campbell?
No, I saw nothing deliberate. Players do get hurt from time to time, it's inevitable.
And during all the years that you've known Bates, have you ever heard anything to the detriment of his reputation?
No, he's a good husband and family man. I know him to be very straight, honest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lomax.
Mr. Lomax, as a manager, what attitude do you tell your players they should adopt towards the physical friction that enters into every game, the pushing and shoving, for example?
For a professional, they're just the accepted knocks of his trade. What's more, they're forgotten when you leave the field.
Mr. Lomax, will you tell the court what tactical plans were made to contain the threat of Arnold Campbell?
None, because it wasn't necessary. Campbell's always been a 45-minute player.
What does that mean?
Well, it means he used to run out of steam after the first half because he was never fit. So he couldn't give 100% effort like other players, like my players.
And so the defendant was given no special instructions regarding him?
That's right. You see, we employ zonal marking. Bates was told to look after his own patch, whether or not Campbell strayed into it.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Mr. Lomax, you've heard of the term to mark a man out of the game, haven't you?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Means to make him tactically useless.
Tactically? Is that all?
That's what I said.
And did you order Campbell to be marked out of the game on December the 15th?
I've already answered that question. No.
But do you seriously expect this court to believe that you took no special defensive measure against a player of Campbell's calibre?
You can believe who you like. We'd been told.
What have you been told?
We'd been tipped off he was throwing matches.
Well, that's pure hearsay and inadmissible as evidence.
But you just asked me. You want to make your mind up.
My lord.
No, Mr. Logan, you invited that with your question.
How long have you spent in the service of Porthampton City, Mr. Lomax?
14 years.
It's been said that you live for your club.
That's supposed to be a question.
Yes.
Well, yes, I do. I give total dedication, which is no more than what I demand from anyone else.
You don't have much time, then, for football as entertainment, do you?
Man, when you sleep, eat and drink the game, it becomes a way of life.
You believe that winning is the thing that matters most, eh?
It's the only thing that matters. If you'd come from my background, you would understand that.
Why, what's so special about your background?
I grew up during the Depression. Maybe that means nothing to you, but in those days, the only way out of the gutter was to become a footballer, and the only way to stay out of it was to be a successful footballer.
I take your point, Mr. Lomax.
Is that why you always retain players known to be hard men?
Well, I was a hard man myself.
You encourage them to lean on their opponents, don't you?
Lean?
To use force.
What do you expect? It's life.
What do you mean?
I mean, you've got to let the other fellow know your strength right from the word go. Otherwise, he won't give you any respect.
But even if it involves fouling him?
Look, I've never liked fouls. They're going on all the time. But if you're spotted, it gives the other side an advantage they don't deserve.
Is that your only reason, Mr. Lomax? What about the foul that isn't seen, the cold-blooded, calculated foul? The foul I think you call the professional foul, such as the one by which the accused ended Arnold Campbell's career and livelihood. To whose advantage was that?
If Kevin Lewis did it, it wasn't a foul, was it?
Are you really suggesting that Arnie Campbell was put out of this game for life by a member of his own team, that a Fulchester player would deliberately end the career of his own team's best player?
Professional football isn't a A five-a-side at a Sunday school picnic. It's big business. And tempers tend to rise high when the money's involved.
And Johnny Bates's temper is well known to be one of the roughest in the business, isn't it, Mr. Lomax?
Not on this occasion it wasn't.
No re-examination, my lord.
You may stand down, Mr. Lomax.
I call Terence Frederick Stein. You are Terence Frederick Stein, and you live at 24 New Estate, Fulchester.
Right and right.
What is your occupation?
I'm a journalist.
What sort of journalism, Mr. Stein?
I write on cultural topics, my lord.
Really? Sir Lloyd, I trust this witness's evidence will prove to be relevant.
I'm sure it will, my lord. Are you acquainted with Arnold Campbell or with Kevin Lewis?
Yes, with both of them, sir.
How did that come about?
I first met them in connection with research some articles about soccer. Since meeting them for the first time, I've been out with them on several occasions.
Alone?
Sometimes alone, sometimes with the other Fulchester players.
Have you ever met Kevin Lewis alone?
Once or twice, yeah.
Will you tell the court what you remember of your last meeting with him?
Yeah, I met Kevin quite by chance in the centre of town. He'd had quite a lot to drink, even though it was only about 8 in the evening. It seemed to me he had something on his mind, something he wanted to talk about. I didn't get his vibrations straight away.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Stein, you didn't what?
I didn't know what his hang-up was. Not till we were in the boozer. I asked him what was the matter, not once, not twice, but several times. He wouldn't tell me anything at first, but finally he did. He said he thought Arnie, Campbell that is, was taking money on the sly, taking bribes.
Well, my lord, I was waiting to see what relevant evidence this witness could possibly give. It is now apparent that anything he has to say is quite inadmissible. This trial is not concerned with a possible bribery of Campbell. And anyway, even the accused himself rejects that possibility. The question to be decided is who kicked Campbell.
I'm afraid I have to be against you, Mr. Logan. The fact that Lewis believed that Campbell was taking bribes provides a motive for an otherwise inexplicable allegation. Shall we go on?
Very well, my lord.
Mr. Stein, did Kevin Lewis give you any reason for his belief that Campbell was taking bribes?
Yeah. He said he'd been with him early in September in the bar of the Lion Hotel, having a few jars with a fellow I've never had the privilege of meeting who goes under the name of Freddie the Broker. He's well known with the horses and dogs mob. According to Kevin, Arnie had been going on a bit about the bad deal he was getting at Fulchester, when the broker said, if either of you gents feel like earning some real money, he knows where to find me.
What was your reaction?
I said, I thought Arnie was incapable of taking money to throw a game.
And what did Lewis say to that?
Well, he started analysing all of Fulchester's recent matches, especially the ones where Arnie'd had a bad game and they'd lost. He was convinced. I couldn't argue with him. Finally, he said, I'm afraid I can't remember the exact words, he said, if Arnie loses us just one more game, I'm going to do something he's going to regret.
Did he and Campbell appear to you to be close friends?
Well, they went around together, but being a star, Campbell didn't have any close friends. And there was the jealousy factor.
What do you mean?
Well, before Arnie came along, Kevin was king at Fulchester, until Arnie sent him down into the reserves. That took him a long time to get over. And even then, his contract was peanuts compared with Arnie's.
Did Lewis tell you that he felt jealous of Campbell?
Several times. And it showed just the way he behaved. I mean, chicks were always ditching him as soon as Arnie walked into the room. I mean, you'd have reacted in the same way as Kevin did. If I was asked to sum up their relationship, is it all right for me to say this, my lord?
If it is relevant, Mr. Stein, by all means.
You see, there's always been a theory of mine. You can divide footballers, or all individuals, in fact, into what I call matadors and bulls.
Matadors and bulls?
Yeah, you see, a player like Arnie, now, he's fast, alert, elegant. He's a matador, he knows where it's at. Whereas Kevin Lewis, well, he's a bull. Brute energy is what he's got to offer.
Now, let me get this quite clear, Mr. Stein. You are telling us that you believe that Lewis was jealous of Campbell's greater status and glamour.
Dangerously so. This may be a cruel thing to say, but, well, Kevin Lewis is one of those players who'd be much happier if he had their brains removed. Thinking only confuses them.
Shall we carry on, Mr. Lloyd?
I don't have any further questions, my lord.
Now then, Mr. Stein, this story of violence and corruption that you allege Mr. Lewis told you, now why should he tell you when he spoke to no one else?
I'm afraid I can't tell you what his motives were. That's really something you ought to ask him.
You decided to come forward and give evidence after you'd heard that Bates was being charged with the offence.
Yeah.
You know Lewis well.
Yes, sir.
But how can you be sure that when he said he'd do something, Campbell was going to regret that he wasn't just joking or boasting?
Well, he looked and sounded like he meant it.
Did you tell anyone else about this threat?
No.
Why on earth not?
But I didn't think he meant he'd do something violent.
Oh, you deplore violence, do you?
I think it's destructive.
And you were disturbed by the attack on Campbell?
What happened to him was worse than appalling.
Yes, of course, as a man of culture, you would think like that, wouldn't you? Exactly what cultural events do you write about, Mr. Stein?
Underground cinema, left-wing poetry, that sort of thing. And football, of course.
I have in my hand a copy of a news sheet called Urban Drum, dated October of last year, in which there is an article bearing your name entitled Football as a Folk Art. It is your work, I take it.
Yeah.
Yes, you wrote, "The true significance of football lies not in what it is, but what it gives rise to." Now, what sort of thing does it give rise to exactly, Mr. Stein?
Well, if you've read the article, you know, don't you?
Yes, but I'd like you to tell me.
Well, it's a crowd, isn't it?
The crowd?
Yeah, the sense of togetherness you get.
But today the crowd no longer comes to see the players come to see the crowd.
Yeah, right.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, like in ancient Rome, what was important wasn't what went on in the arena, but what went on among the spectators.
So you would equate football with gladiatorial combats, would you?
In a way, yeah.
And yet you deplore violence?
Violence on the field, yeah.
In our proletarian age, you say in your article, those who matter stand rock solid behind the goal at Fulchester's brickwork end, and come the half-time whistle, they too have often departed, their business done. What business, my timorous bourgeois friends? That of making the brickwork end an unhealthy place for other forms of life to survive in. Now, how do you make the brickwork end an unhealthy place for other forms of life to survive in, Mr. Stein?
Why ask if you already know?
You must answer the question, Mr. Stein.
All right. When the visiting team supporters invade our territory at the brickwork end, we kick their heads in. That's the real match. And when we play away from home, the same thing happens to us. Not all the time, of course.
And you still maintain that you deplore violence?
Unorganised violence, yeah, it's a waste of time.
Is that the reason that you and your kind wear metal-tipped boots?
It's one way of expressing yourself.
A way of expressing yourself in what you choose to call an art form?
Look, you should come down to the ground sometime, hear the singing. Perhaps you'd understand.
But what has kicking people's heads in with metal-tipped boots got to do with singing?
All the best songs come out of conflict.
Apart from your somewhat strange contributions to culture, Mr. Stein, are you in reality the self-appointed leader of the brickwork end?
A lot of people think they're leaders. If other people say I am, then for them I am.
And you also claim to have invented Arnold Campbell, don't you?
Well, look at it like this. Every society needs its ritual, its golden calf. Sir Fulchester adopted Arnie Campbell for a figurehead. We turned him into the king of the brickwork.
With you as kingmaker? Is this the only use to which you put your education, Mr. Stein? Did you go through university, by the way?
No, I didn't. When they offered me a place, I rejected it. I know all I need to know.
Including how to lie, it seems.
There's no reason why I should lie.
I suggest the real reason why you offered to give evidence at this trial was because your Arnie Campbell myths required that his downfall should be avenged and that it should be accounted for by treachery.
Are you suggesting I invented my conversation with Lewis?
Yes, Mr. Stein, that's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Look, if I only wanted revenge, I'd hardly invent something that just destroyed the unity of my team now, would I?
No further questions, my lord.
No re-examination, my lord.
You may go, Mr. Stein.
Before I go, may I show you a photograph?
A photograph of what?
It's a photograph I took of Kevin Lewis kicking Arnie Campbell at the match.
Mr. Stein, you say you took this photograph at the match. Where from?
From the stand, with a telephoto lens.
And you say the player on the ground is Campbell, and this is the incident in which he was injured.
Right.
And it would seem to be the only photograph of the incident in existence. Mr. Lloyd? Thank you. Mr. Logan, I think you should see that photograph. Members of the jury, you will have an opportunity to study the photograph in due course. Lloyd, do you wish to ask the witness any questions concerning the photograph?
Not at the moment, my lord.
Mr. Logan?
Yes, my lord, I think I do. Mr. Stein, you told us that this shows Kevin Lewis kicking Campbell. And it doesn't, does it?
Well, it was just after. And there's Lewis standing over it.
Now, you were looking through the camera during this incident and you snapped the photograph just after Lewis kicked him?
Yeah, right.
Did you actually see him kick him then?
Oh, no. I saw something going on, so I had a quick squint through my lens and took a snap. But the important thing is that Campbell had only just hit the ground, and there's Lewis standing over him putting the boot in.
Well, I can see him standing over him, Mr. Stein, but I can't see him putting the boot in. Thank you.
No further questions, my lord.
You may stand down.
Oh, my lord.
Yes, Mr.
I beg your lordship's pardon, but there is one further question I would like to put to the witness. It arises from the photograph, and I haven't had an opportunity of studying it until now.
Very well, Mr. Logan.
Mr. Stein, there is another player there too, isn't there, with his back to the camera, standing and looking down at Campbell. I believe it's a Porthampton player, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, only part of the number on his shirt is showing, but it seems the only number it could be is number 3. A Porthampton player with a number 3 shirt. Now, who would that be?
Bates. But he's miles away.
No, Mr. Stein, he's not miles away. He's quite close, in fact. And the important thing is that he's looking down at Campbell on the ground. But Bates, in his evidence, stated quite clearly that he wasn't even aware that Campbell had fallen.
Mr. Lloyd?
No further questions, my lord.
You may go, Mr. Stein. We will keep your photograph. It will be returned to you later. Mr. Lloyd, I feel this new evidence is something which should be examined. It is a matter for you, of course, but I think you should consider whether or not the accused should be recalled.
As you wish, my lord. Will you return to the witness box, Mr. Bates?
You are still on oath, Mr. Bates. Lloyd?
Well, I have no questions, my lord, but no doubt the learned friend has.
Yes, Mr. Bates, when you were giving evidence before, you told us you did not see Campbell fall to the ground. You said, I did not really notice at the time, I did not fall, I ran off to clear the ball, and that immediately you touched the ground, you ran off following the play.
I think you got that wrong. I don't think that's quite what I said.
I'm afraid it was, Mr. Bates. My note tallies exactly with Mr. Logan's. What does your note say, Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, my lord, my note also tallies with that of your lordship and of my learned friend.
You told the jury that because you wished them to believe that you were nowhere near Campbell when he was on the ground.
Look, I was nowhere near Campbell when he was on the ground.
Well, will you look at this photograph, Mr. Bates? Now, that shows, does it not, Campbell on the ground and you with your back to the camera looking down at him.
Yeah.
So you lied to the jury, didn't you, when you told them that you didn't even see Campbell on the ground?
Well, yes, I did. Look, I thought with all that stuff about fanny plates and threatening to put them in hospital, well, I thought I just couldn't afford to tell the truth. I mean, it was stupid, I know, but look, I just didn't kick him. I wouldn't dare. I'd never be allowed to play football again.
Mr. Lloyd?
No re-examination, my lord.
You may return to the dock, Mr. Bates. Mr. Logan.
Members of the jury, the simple question before you in this case is, which of two professional players deliberately and callously kicked another player? A player more brilliant than either of them, and so ended his career. Now, only two players were close enough to do it. Which do you think the more probable? Bates, the member of the opposing team, the fading player, jealous of Campbell, the rising star, or Lewis, Campbell's own teammate? Now, the only possible motive ascribed to Lewis was given by that witness, Terence Stein, who said Lewis had told him that he, Lewis, believed Campbell was taking bribes. But do you really think Stein is a person whose evidence you can accept? Now, I submit not. Putting the matter shortly, members of the jury, what is more probable, that Campbell was kicked by his own teammate or by Bates, one of the opposing team, who, according to the Fulchester chairman, Mr. Harris, broke down and actually confessed to him? Well, the answer's obvious, isn't it? Accordingly, I ask you to return a verdict of guilty.
Members of the jury, on December the 15th of last year, in the 76th minute of a football match, Arnold Campbell was kicked on the hip and put out of football for life. Immediately after that incident, John Bates was set upon and surrounded by Fulchester players. He was confused and bewildered then, as he is confused and bewildered now. For he knows he did not commit the offence, but he also knows that he is suspect number one. For he has freely admitted he's a hard player. He has freely admitted he disliked Campbell. And he's even admitted that he threatened to put Fulchester players in hospital. And as suspect number one, I must ask you to believe that he reacted understandably by denying he saw Campbell on the ground. Members of the jury, that was a lie, and Bates has now admitted it. But he has never, at any time, admitted kicking Campbell, and I believe that to be true. I ask you, if Bates, as a professional footballer of 16 years standing, really wanted to cripple Campbell, do you think he'd throw away his wage packet and jeopardise his wife and children's standard of living in such an insane way? Now, the defence's only duty in this case is to show to you that Bates did not deliver that kick. But I'll go further, and I'll suggest to you who did. On December the 15th, in the 73rd minute of the match, Campbell missed a penalty, and in the 76th minute, he was kicked on the hip as he lay on the ground. Members of the jury, I put it to you that that kick was the culmination of months of bitterness and frustration within Fulchester United, and it was delivered by Kevin Lewis. And accordingly, I must ask you to find my client, John Bates, not guilty.
Members of the jury, during this case we have heard some very disillusioning things. Some of you may have been shocked, as I have been, to find that such things do occur in what most of us regard as a clean game. Well, apparently and regrettably they do occur. And it would seem that our idols of the sports field sometimes turn out to have feet of clay. However, you must not allow this to sway you one way or the other, because you are here to consider the facts and only the facts. Now, it is a contention of counsel for the prosecution that Bates kicked Campbell viciously and deliberately while he lay on the ground, and thereby ended his footballing career. It is a case for the defence that that damaging kick was in fact delivered by Kevin Lewis, a member of Campbell's own team. Now, we have heard that both the defendant and Lewis had grudges against Campbell, so that would provide a motive in either case. The photograph which the last witness produced will show you, as you can see for yourselves, that either player could have done the kicking, so it won't really help you to make your decision, and though it may serve to remind you that Bates did lie under oath. So it is a matter for you. Who are you going to believe? The defendant and his team manager, or Kevin Lewis and the referee? Remember, it is for the prosecution to have proved beyond reasonable doubt that Bates did deliver that kick. In law, the defendant is not required to prove anything at all. If you have any doubt in your mind whatsoever that Bates was the offending player, then you must acquit him of the charge. Members of the jury, you will now retire and consider your verdict.
All stand. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner guilty or not guilty of assault occasioning actual bodily harm?
Not guilty.
I see. You may leave the dock, Mr. Bates. You are discharged.
Court will rise.
Next week, you can join another jury when our cameras return to watch a leading case in the Crown Court.